Hey folks, Paul here with Thunder Punk Radio and Drake and Training Division. I'm with my good friend Dave here. Is it Dave or David? What do you prefer?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Either's fine.
Davey Jones. All right, my good friend from Fostech Arms. This is a company that found you guys at SHOT Show years ago and then ended up working with you on Gunny Time TV.
Absolutely.
And you guys always come out to Eric's Range Day, the IV 8888. So I've been fortunate enough to fire your ARs, the Origin, just use all your products and really enjoyed them, and they're so innovative, and this one especially is crazy looking. And I'm super into small businesses that innovate and just do something different. And so I can't wait to hear a little bit of history about the company and your products.
Well, Fostech started about 11 years ago. It actually started in my cousin's garage, and then we just kept moving to bigger and bigger buildings. We're blessed to have about a 60,000 square foot manufacturing facility in southern Indiana.
Awesome.
So companies, we're known for our triggers, the Echo triggers. We also have one now for the AK-47.
Ooh, okay.
One of the things that makes our triggers a little different is that when you pull the trigger, it goes off, and you release the trigger, it goes off. So it gives you that pull and release function. But one of the things that helps with that is literally if you're doing that and you have a fast trigger finger, you can literally pull the trigger faster than the gun can cycle ammunition. So one of the ways we address that is we created a trigger lock mechanism. So literally the trigger will not allow you to pull it until the carrier is forward and then battered. Awesome. So what that does is that governs you with the gun and makes sure that you stay in sync.
Now, if there's a random incident, jackrabbit's running across the range, and you don't want to, smoke that rabbit or something, whatever. You hear ceasefire, and you have the trigger pulled. Can you put it on safe, and then it won't fire again?
Absolutely can. So
awesome.
That was the first round. We're now gun's gone off, it's recocked, and you want to go and not drop the second round. All you got to do is that when you let it loose.
Awesome. And
now you're just back into a semi-automatic mode, and or if you want to go all the way to safe.
Very cool. Yeah, when you first described the trigger, I'm like, this is awesome, but what would you do in that? Because that's the only instance that makes me a little like, with the fact that you can do that, you can hold the trigger down, that's not a problem. So that's a great feature.
Some of the other stuff we're doing is we are making lightweight ARs. What makes our ARs different is they're made of a magnesium aluminum alloy.
Okay.
Been doing that for a while, and they're super light. I mean, when you grab that thing, it almost feels like...
So I was expecting it, but it wasn't... No.
It almost feels fake, but it is metal.
It feels like... Well, it doesn't feel like styrofoam, but it weighs...
It's virtually nothing.
I wish there was a way I could transfer this feel to the video. Like, I thought I was almost going to throw it and grab it.
Well, that's one of the hardest things for us with this because there's so many ARs out there, and our rifle looks like an AR.
Right.
Until you put it in somebody's hands and they actually feel that weight, and it's really difficult to do that.
This is just so wild, man.
But we're actually forging that material now.
All right.
So it's actually a forging.
Okay.
So when you forge that, it takes the strength up.
Okay.
So we're 22% stronger than billet aluminum and still 33% lighter.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the new thing for us right now is the forged magnesium product.
Well, so this is like all one solid piece of metal. This is still pretty light.
Yep.
Okay, and then from there it goes on to a CNC machine, and then you cut it all out. And so what's the difference between cast and forge for people that don't understand that?
Well, forging is basically it takes like a raw blank of metal.
Right.
They heat it up, and then they take a press that has two halves. You can almost see the seam here in the ball. And it comes together, and it literally forces the metal into that shape. And when that does that, it changes the grain structure of the metal.
So I was just going to say, so I'm into bladesmithing, and a forged knife versus a cast or just a stock removal knife. A forged knife is almost always stronger.
And that's the reason why. It changes that grain structure.
Gotcha.
Same with magnesium aluminum alloys, same with aluminum alloys, it applies.
I had no idea that it made a difference with the magnesium alloy, so it's something new as well. All right, cool. What do we got? What are we going to move on to next?
Well, I was just going to go ahead and hand you the whole rifle.
All right.
With that material, with that technology. So you're holding about a 5-pound rifle there, and you still have a collapsible stock. It's not really totally skeleton.
And it looks cool as hell too. It looks cool, like especially for Star Wars. This is going to get issued to Space Force, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It feels like a polymer, I think, as far as the weight goes. So. This is impressive. I mean, this is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
so then the last thing, and I think the thing that kind of drew you to us from the very beginning. is our Origin 12 shotgun, which is, talking about Space Force. This looks like it needs to be in Space Force, right? So what makes this gun a little different? Obviously, it's a 12 gauge. It looks cool, right? But we pick the gas up really early, right at the end of the chamber. We divert it forward in some tubes, and we have a long stroke gas pistol. By picking the gas up early, you're grabbing the gas right when the pressures are the highest, which allows the gun to cycle a wider variety of ammunition than a lot of shorter guns in a 12 gauge can.
Well, so I fired this a few times, and it functions. It's great. The first time was on that TV show for like the mineral shots. And then later I got to use it at range day a bunch of times. And the first thing I saw when I walked by your booth, I think you had the bolt assembly. You had a bolt assembly itself separate, I believe. And I was like, okay, this is really intricate. I've never seen anything like this before. And then I saw this, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to stop and talk to you guys.
Yep.
So
the one other cool thing it does, and I need to grab one back here, is it does break in half. So you pull one pin out of the side of the gun here, and literally, the gun breaks down, which I'm probably out of the camera roll here, but
you're good.
And then,
there we go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Put it in your small little backpack. You can go from a long barrel configuration to the short barrel by just pulling that pin.
Oh, very cool. So like all you need is, so you can buy one like receiver, and then you can switch it out.
Get two different barrel assemblies. So
Awesome.
you go from a long to a short.
All right. Well, cool. You got any new products that are in R&D right now, or going to be bringing to the market soon, or?
I do, but I hesitate to talk about them because it generates a lot of customer service problems, and I get in trouble back at the shop.
Well, I think this is more than enough. Like I can't reiterate how impressive. It's not real, man.
Yeah.
Like I can't reiterate how light this is. And like I said, I fired several of these guys right here, and it's just been a great time every time I've done it. This is on my wish list. I can't recommend checking these guys out enough. If you have any questions or any feedback, leave it in whatever comment section this is going up on. And thank you so much for your time, man.
As usual, always good to see you too, brother.
Likewise, man.